Good evening. My name is Althea Fry, and I am a true Native American from Miami, Florida. I currently work for my dream company as their marketing coordinator, my dream company being the Miccosukee Tribe of Indians of Florida. My goal for the future is to be considered an asset to the Miccosukee Tribe. The reason being that I started working for them when I was a mere 19 years old, and they have always motivated me to work hard and push further. They even sponsored me through my entire college at FIU, including right now through the CMBA program. When they found out that I was working towards my degree in marketing, I was immediately transferred to the marketing department in their advertising agency and then moved again to their marketing department at the casino. Based on my Gallup Strengths Finder analysis, I find it very correct, all of the things that were applied to me, and it really explains why I've stayed with the company for so long. The reason that I say that is that the number one strength that I was given was that I am deliberative. And I am very deliberative in everything that I do and fully execute, especially with regards to my work and schooling. When I wasn't sure about what I wanted to do at FIU, I basically took a 2 year break to find myself while simultaneously working full time for the Miccosukee Tribe. And in that, they always allowed us to go to career fairs to figure out exactly what we wanted to do. And it was there that I discovered the advertising agency and ultimately began my tenure at FIU to earn a degree to work there. And Miccosukee granted me that very opportunity. So, again, had it not been for that distinct reason to go to school, I probably would not have gone back because I don't like going to school to figure out what I want to do. Considering that Miccosukee was sponsoring me, I had to have a deliberate reason to go and finish. Now, my second strength was relator. And I have always been told in every department I've ever worked for that I am very good at making people feel understood and accepted, that they've been heard. I love to hear other people's ideas and implement them. And if those ideas are rendered successful, I fully enjoy giving credit and recognition when it's due. I do not like taking credit for anything. And as a matter of fact, I've always hesitated to take anything other than a supervisory position because I enjoy working under others and strengthening them. I believe that the highest CEO is only as good as their bottom line, frontline men, I should say, with regards to the people who are working at the front line, including in entry level positions, just as I do in my department. Now, my third strength I also found to be interesting. It was that I am very strategic. And I am strategically placing myself in my company so that I can, for the future, be considered an asset. My goal is to be someone who is ultimately irreplaceable. Obviously, everyone is replaceable, but I'd like to make it so that if for whatever reason I ever had to leave the company would feel it and they would talk about it and realize what an asset I was. And I do so in everything that I do. Strategically, I like to have everybody included in everything and show that all the pieces are necessary to make a project or any given event very successful. Being the events and marketing coordinator for the tribe, it entails a lot of teamwork. And I enjoy putting teams together, which goes to the next strength, which is arranger. And also, let me see the other one. I'm sorry, I have all the strengths in front of me. Restorative. Restorative being that I believe in always having a plan A, a plan B, a plan C for everything regarding any event or any projects because anything and everything can go wrong. I absolutely believe and follow Murphy's Law. The reason for that is that in any event, no matter how much planning you have done, something can always go wrong. You can have a beautiful outdoor event and suddenly there's a sprinkle of rain. What do you do then? So, for that reason, we have always had a plan A and a plan B, And I don't go around advertising for the plans. However, if they ever need to be implemented, I know exactly who to turn to make sure that these things are correctly implemented and executed so that we don't have a hitch in any of the plans. There's nothing going wrong. And ultimately, the customers never realize that anything ever went wrong during the course of the event. Now, I will say that understanding my strengths, I also very much understand my weaknesses because I somewhat feed off of the ideas of others. I do find myself somewhat stagnant when I have to do something as an individual. And I don't see it as a major problem considering that as the marketing coordinator, my job is to coordinate with others. But there are certain tasks that I am given to do on my own, and I do find it very difficult to complete these tasks on my own, only because at the end there's no extra level of fulfillment. There's no one to share the finish line with, if you will. So I much prefer working in groups. My individual work is done in a timely manner, very efficiently as well. But again, I don't feel anything after. And I suppose that it's because of my relator strength and my deliberative strength that I know what I want, I know how to get there. And sorry, unwanted phone call. And having to feed off of others to get to where I need to go, it's difficult to try to do things on my own. So I am working on that. But because of my leadership style, one of the questions was whether or not we ever have resistance to change. And I can honestly say that I have not had a lot of resistance to change because of the fact that I work with others and I listen to them. Anytime I have an employee who is forcing slack onto others, I have to get rid of them. And I do make excuses for them, being the relator side of me. I always try to figure out what could it be, but with entry-level positions, sometimes it's just absolute carelessness and recklessness. And when I figure that out, I have to get rid of the employees because I would rather go and work the frontline positions and show my employees that I am there for them and I understand what they are doing and what it entails than to force them to coordinate with somebody who truly doesn't care about their position, because when they leave slack, they may feel better about themselves getting by with just the bare minimum, but there's somebody else picking up that slack and having to deal with that excess stress that they're really not entitled to. They don't deserve to have to feel that. So for that reason, my employees have always been very respectful, and they even are happy to come into work if I call them on their day off or ask them to come an hour or two earlier. So I'm very grateful for that relationship with all of the employees that I have ever had. And ultimately, I enjoy what I do, and I plan to do so for a long time. I'm trying to see if there's any other questions that I have missed. And I can see that I pretty much went through everything. So thank you for this video, and I hope you enjoy.